How we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. I hope you all had a great Christmas. And yeah, have you seen the news? I'm sure you've all seen it by now. I was on night shift last night, and I was just like, and I've been chomping at the bit to do a video. If I was off, I would have done one there and then. But it's probably for the best. So I've just finished my night shift. I came home and slept for a bit. I've had to do a bit of running around as well, so I've had time to really gather my thoughts on it. And yeah, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't, you've clicked on the video, so you must seen it. But here we go. Yeah, it looks like Nevermore are reforming. Jeff Loomis and Van Williams have both shared. Kind of looks like a teaser trailer. I suppose it is a teaser trailer. It's a nice little, arty bit of all the different artworks from the albums. There's a little bit of an intro from a Nevermore song, and you've got the two figures walking towards this, structure, like never-ending story. It says "Resurrecting the Dream." Nevermore 2025, and a new chapter rises. And yeah, I'm on the fence. So let's have a coffee and a chat. Let's bat the idea back and forth. And yeah, I just want to get my thoughts out there, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you agree with. Let me get what you disagree with, and yeah, I want to know what you think about this. And the reunion, it's reunions in as a whole, I suppose, comes into it. So I spoke to Dave Martell. Dave Martell's got a new book out, by the way, from the Bizarre Archives. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, the new Bizarre Archives is out, so make sure you pick that up. The Bizarre Archives have also just recently put together a collection of Robert E. Howard stories, both Conan the Barbarian, Cole, Solomon Kane. I've not managed to buy it yet. Christmas has caught up with me, but I'll be showing that off when I get it. But yeah, so Big Dave was on the show, and we did the Nevermore retrospective. I'll put it in the description below so you can watch it if you haven't seen it yet. And at the time then, the idea of them, rebooting came up, and Dave said, like, no Warrell Dane, no Nevermore. That's it. And he makes a good point. I'm not saying I was like hoping this would happen or I wanted it to happen, but part of me knew that it always would happen. And I made the point then that, look, if Queen can sell out Wembley Stadium without Freddie Mercury, all bets are off. That's just how it is. And the majority of the crowds nowadays, the majority of people don't follow the lineup or the musician. They see that logo and they go for it. Just look at Pantera, or look at any band. Look at Venom. Look at Venom Inc. Empire of Evil is Venom Inc. and Venom Inc. is Empire of Evil. Jeff and Tony were touring with as Empire of Evil, and yeah, was it Mark? What's his name? Mark Jackson was on drums. I'll quickly look him up. And yeah, they get Abaddon on board. Empire of Evil had like 2 or 3 albums out, and they were touring and everything, but then they get Abaddon on board. And they become Venom Inc. and then they become massive. And that first Venom Inc. album had Empire of Evil songs on it, And now Abaddon leaves Venom Inc. It's gone full circle. Mark Jackson, sorry. Mark Jackson was in Acid Rain for a bit. Then Mark comes into Venom Inc. and they're Venom Inc. it's Empire of Evil. It's just full circle. But what the name is what makes it, And Nevermore's back catalogue is just too good, to sit on the shelf and just wither away and disappear into history. The people say, they should form a new band. Well, I'm sorry, you know as well as I do, if Jeff Loomis and Van Williams got together now and just formed a new band, it wouldn't get a jot of the interest that what they're now going to do under the name of Nevermore. They're going to headline festivals off the back of this. Their new band would open the main stage if they were lucky. I mean, I spoke to my boy Jackie Smith from the Into the Necrosphere on this as well, and he was exactly the same. No Warrell Dane, no Nevermore. Now, you know, I get it. I think the difference is, which I'll get to. I was reading one group, and it seems like it's heavily rumoured that the new singer is going to be Stu Block from Into Eternity. He was in Nice Earth for a bit. He's now in Annihilator. And I said that to Dave Martell, and then all of a sudden he kind of went, maybe, yeah, I do like him. You know? This is the point now. It can be done with the right person, with the right people involved. Anything's possible. You're talking to a Black Sabbath fan here. You're talking to a Blaze Bayley defender. So I think the difference is, and this is the pinnacle. The pinnacle of it is, so with some bands, the singer is interchangeable. You've got to get the right singer, but you know it can be done. But I think the thing with Nevermore is that Warrell Dane's lyrics are so personal to Warrell, and that's going to be the new singer has got to purvey those emotions. He's got to make those songs his own, and that's going to be very difficult to do. And it was so much of Warrell's personality. He was, you know, he had a very distinctive voice, especially as he as Nevermore developed, he as a vocalist developed, and he, you know, you could say he was in the Jeff Tate range, and he was in this range. He was in the, you know, he was in a ballpark with certain vocalists, but he didn't necessarily sound like a certain vocalist. So this new vocalist he's got a very fine balance between being familiar enough but putting his own edge to it. Now you could do that with Iron Maiden or something like that, because it's their topic of the lyrics is a universal topic. It's about a story or history or something like that. But you're going to be talking about something personal here. So he's got to be able to put himself into these lyrics and tweak them in his own mind to what they mean to him. How do I relate to this? And Nevermore spoke of a whole host of subjects. I mean, they would go political but not preachy, and political enough but not alienating, which is rare nowadays. So it was more, I suppose, it was more philosophical than political. But you know, Warrell also spoke about a lot of what was going on in his own life, his own struggles, his own grief, his struggles with faith and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've seen the conversation at the beginning go from no Warrell Dane, no Nevermore to maybe I could accept it if this person was in the chair. Some people spoke about Matt Barlow as well, also of Iced Earth. I couldn't see it with Matt Barlow, to be honest. Maybe they could get an unknown singer that can sort of grow into the role. That would be probably better, rather than doing what Black Sabbath did and getting like an already established singer. It made sense with Dio, but it didn't quite work with Ian Gillan, did it? Because it was like, well, how's these two sounds going to gel, sort of thing. But like I say, they had pretty much as close as a perfect catalogue as you're gonna get. You know, a couple of albums. The first album was solid enough, but it wasn't what Nevermore would go on to be. And the last album was a little bit lacking, wasn't it? But, you know, I guess we could pretty much go through it. Let's get everything down. I mean, to me, Dead Heart in a Dead World is This Godless Endeavour. These are the masterpieces. Well, no, of course. And Dreaming Neon Black. They were the three masterpieces, but Politics of Ecstasy is great. Enemies of Reality is another great album. I mean, again, Nevermore on a Bad Day are just, it was never terrible, but yeah, just with the Obsidian conspiracy, it was as if the band was at a loggerheads, and it turned out at the time they were, because both Warrell Dane and Jeff Loomis had differing opinions of where the band should go. But the thing is, as well, like, Jeff Loomis has been in Arch Enemy for the last 9 years, and that weren't going to last, because Arch Enemy is Michael Ammett's baby, and Jeff Loomis needs his baby. He's got a back catalogue with a band here with like 8-9 albums under his belt, like 2 solo albums. He's established. He needs his own baby, but it's hard to establish another new band completely from ground zero when you've got, people have got short memories and people aren't loyal to the artist as an individual. I mean, I had this argument with someone when Alice in Chains restarted again, and it was like, oh, they should just have Jerry Cantrell on vocals. It's like, maybe, but that's not how the vocals of Alice in Chains work. You had 2 vocalists harmonising together. He should just go solo. Jerry Cantrell should just go solo. How many of Jerry Cantrell's albums have you bought then, was my answer. Sean Kenny drummed on Boggy Depot, or whatever it's called. Sean drummed on that. And Mike, bass player of Alice in Chains, both of them played on that album. Did you buy it? Have you heard it? Yeah, exactly. So you're talking shit, So, yeah, I understand. I fully sympathise. People who love Warrell Dane. I love Warrell Dane. The guy was a fucking legend. And, I've got, his 2 solo albums are great as well, And, but it's just the reality of the music industry, that you've got these great musicians that they're just not going to be able to start a new project from the ground up. Or if they do, it's going to be a real struggle. And they're sitting there, Nevermore, boom, the festivals, the tours, it's all just going to come in, and the audience are going to show up, even if they just come in once. They come in once to go, this is shit, and don't come back, but they will turn up once, at least. And I went through this with Thin Lizzy sort of relaunched. I was like, Thin Lizzy without Phil Lynott? That's sacrilege. Oh, I do like Ricky Warwick, though. And then I came round. I ended up watching that lineup like 4 times. But, yeah, like I say, I do deeply sympathise. It should, in reality, in the big scheme of things, in a perfect world, Nevermore, it should be left on the shelf, and it should be... The back catalogue should just tick over, selling like bestsellers, but it isn't. They didn't get as big as they should have been. They're probably bigger now than they ever were. I'll tell you one thing as well. Nevermore, I was looking on some pics. I can't remember what I was looking at, but it seems like Nevermore albums on vinyl are getting a bit... There's not that many of them, basically. It's a bit thin on the ground. I think the vinyl resurgence, the Nevermore catalogue, has missed that. So, and people are willing to pay good money for any Nevermore album on vinyl. And people are making a pretty penny selling theirs. So, Century Media must be aware of that. They want to relaunch the catalogue on vinyl. I guarantee you that's coming. There'll be a reissue campaign soon. And, live gigs to back that up. It stands to reason. Like I say, this back catalogue is too good to just disappear into history. Look at Death, for God's sake. You got Death to All. You've got, is it Left for Dead? Or you've got the guy from Matt from Exhumed with Rick Ross playing the first 2 albums. You've got Death to All in all the various lineups doing that. Death are more alive now than... Chuck's more alive now than he ever was, Again, if Death can tour without Chuck, the big one, Queen, sold out Wembley Stadium, multiple dates, without Freddie. So it's there for the taking. So I always knew this was in the pipeline. Whether I'm up for it or not, I don't know. On my instincts, I'm just like, oh, I don't know about this, but I think a lot of people will be swayed if the lineup is right. And fuck, do you think Jeff and Van don't know this? Do you not think they don't know the stakes that they're up against? Do you not think I think they're pretty aware that this has to be done right. I guess the burning question though is, what happens to the bass player, Jim Shepherd? Because it was said at the end that it was basically Jim and Worrell went one way and Jeff and Van went the other way. I mean, has Jim even been asked? That's a question. You know what I mean? Yeah, if he's not up, I think he should have at least been asked. He should have at least been approached. But I wonder who else could be. Are any other past members? I mean, Steve Smythe, is he on board, or Pat O'Brien? Maybe, but I think he's going to have trouble touring. I think that's the thing with Exalder. I think he does the albums, but he doesn't do any touring. Chris Broderick could come back on board, I suppose. I mean, it was pretty much Jeff. He was the one that was on all of the albums, and I think a lot of the albums were recorded as a 4-piece. They were mainly just a 5-piece live, but yeah, there you go. I'm just splurging all my thoughts. I'm thingy one way, thingy the other way. So, in closing, yes, yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic, shall we say? I'm preparing for the worst. Oh yeah, look, let's just see what happens. I guess is my answer. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see if they capture the spirit of what Nevermore was. And in terms of a new album, well, yeah, we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll be covering this as it develops, as it goes through. This is like the Pantera thing as well. It's Pantera without Diamond Vinny. I don't know. And then I'm just thinking, who are you fucking kidding? Of course you're gonna go. You know. Mind you, I didn't go because the tickets were extortionate, and I was just like, I'm not paying that. Fuck that. Phil Anselmo was playing like a club with that held 500 people playing these songs, but now he's got Rex and Zach and Charlie. He's playing arenas, you know. But yeah, proceed with caution. It has to. It can be done, but it has to be done bloody right, and it has to be particular. I think is the thing. Like I say, the new vocalist has got his work cut out because of Worrell's personal lyrics. I think is the thing that makes a difference here. And Worrell Dane was a big personality, but then again, his legacy should be living on as well. You know, Sanctuary carried on. You know. By these songs being played live and the with the reissues and all the rest of it, Worrell's legacy is being kept alive, just like Chuck Schuldina's is being kept alive. Same with Thin Lizzy and Queen, and so on and so forth. To keep playing these songs keeps their legacy alive, and bands. It's like a family member dying. The family doesn't just cease to exist. The family carries on. And when you get a band together, that chemistry that you have, that thing you create, you can't always keep. It's hard to get that. So it's easy for people to go, just form a new band. It's not as easy as you think, So hopefully this is done right. Let's hope for the best. Let's encourage them. And see how it goes. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, that's my thoughts. And yeah, let's keep an open mind and see how this develops and go from that. I want to know what you think though. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, what your perspective of it is, and yeah, check out my Nevermore retrospective with Dave Martell from the Bizarre Archives if you haven't watched it. I'll put that in the description below for you to watch. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching. And top 10 albums of the year is coming very, very soon. So yeah, see you later, everyone. Back to work.